Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode here on my Minecraft Survival Let's Play world, where we're back where we finished off in the previous episode making this beautiful tower build over here, and I'm really happy with it. It's a very nice castle gateway and I think it looks really beautiful, and it seems like the Enderman has still been moving some blocks around in here. I've actually got to put this dirt block back, but I'm really happy with how this build turned out. And if you guys haven't checked out my last episode already, go ahead and do that, and you guys can see how I've gone ahead and built these towers over here, done some terraforming and built this bridge. But altogether, I'm very proud with what we got. So go ahead and check out last week's episode if you haven't already. But in today's episode, we are actually going to be taking a little break from working in this town over here, and we're going to be doing something maybe a little more exciting for you guys. But don't worry, it's still going to involve some building so that you guys can keep entertained. So my plan for today's episode is going to be involving the Nether, and what I plan to do is build a Nether room in our little town over here, and I think it's going to look fantastic. However, I don't want to really incorporate it into any sort of build because I don't really like having Nether, builds, because it kind of feels unnatural and it looks kind of weird when you enter the house. So what I'm going to do is actually incorporate another portal into our town over here using the landscape, and I think that's going to turn out perfectly. So using some sort of hill over here or some sort of cave, I think will do perfectly. Kind of incorporate another portal into that, and I think that'll be the perfect passage into the Nether. And not only that, but if you guys can recall from episode 38, I started building up a Nether hub. And what I plan to do in today's episode involves extending that Nether hub and connecting it up to the last one. And for those of you new subscribers on my channel which haven't seen the previous episodes, let's go ahead over into the Nether so that I can show my Nether hub to you guys. And actually, just flying across the landscape, I just noticed something. There's a zombie piglin over here, and that's kind of unusual because we're very far away from my Nether portal. If you actually just fly in this direction over here, about 100 or so blocks, my Nether portal is right by my custom mountain range. So if you just go ahead and enter this little hill over here, this is my Nether portal. So I'm kind of confused how a zombie piglin traveled over 100 blocks to get to my town location. Anyway, without further ado, let's head on into the Nether, and then we can go ahead and show you guys the Nether hub. Alright, here we are, and we have arrived at my destination, and I'm flying straight into my Nether hub design. And if you just actually pop down through here, because we don't have an official entrance yet, you can go ahead and see my Nether hub, and I think it looks absolutely amazing. And if you guys haven't noticed it already, I went with a train design, like a train station design, and I think it looks really cool. So we got like a train station terminal over here with some railroad tracks on either side, and then we've also got a little freight train over here to symbolize the industrial district that this portal leads into. And I really like this train station design as well. We're using a bunch of different blocks over here. As you can see, we're using some bricks, some red sand, some acacia, some granite, some Nether bricks here. You can see we're using a ton of different blocks to kind of create this very nice effect, and I think it's also a very unique style as well. I'm in love with it, and I think it's pretty different from other Nether hub designs, so I think that makes it stand out. And if we actually pop on into this little section over here, you can also take a look at my piglin bartering farm. However, there seems to be this guy coming straight after me. Okay, I have to deal with him, and then I can show you guys the piglin bartering farm. Okay, just killed this hoglin over there, and then I can go ahead and show you guys my piglin bartering farm. And I think this piglin bartering farm also fits quite nicely into this little train station design that I've got going on over here. But yeah, this piglin bartering farm is super effective. But anyway, without further ado, I think we need to connect this train station up over here to another train station down in that direction where my town is. And for the next train station, I'm thinking of building something very similar to this. However, I'm going to make it a little bit more unique using some more colorful blocks and trying to highlight the Nether feel. And I'm also going to be building a different type of train, but I'll get round to that later. The first thing that we need to care about before we do anything is actually grabbing our materials. So I'll see you guys back here very shortly after I've got everything. Alright, so I've just entered to back from the overworld and I'm fully prepared now with a bunch of shulker boxes to help me get building. However, in order to create the next train station, we actually need to align it up with another portal, just like we did over here. So to do that, we need to actually go back to the overworld by our town and create the nether portal. And as you can see, I've actually already prepared for that. I've got 46 obsidian here so that we can make any portal shape or size that we want. And I've got some flint and steel so that we can of course light that. And we're going to do all of that by our town. And in order to do all of that, we need to actually head back into the overworld. So I'll see you guys back at the town so that we can start the building process. Alright, coming in hot, and we have arrived back at our destination in the overworld now. And now that I'm fully prepared, we can get underway and start building our nether portal design. And like I mentioned previously at the beginning of today's episode, I don't really want to kind of build my nether portal in some sort of build or some sort of pre-existing kind of structure like one of these towers or this house that we have here, because I feel like having nether portals in builds is a bit unrealistic. Instead, I want to incorporate it into the environment. And what I'm thinking is the best place to do that is this little hill over here, because I'm not really thinking of doing much in this open area here since it's kind of just out of the way. So I'm thinking a nice place to build our nether portal will be on this little hillside. And that's going to be actually probably the best place to build it because it's out of the way so that you won't see it when you're walking around the town itself. But it's not too far from the fact that you have to fly everywhere from once you leave the portal. So I think that is going to be the best place to build it. And we can even link up the nether portal to our pathways and into the town, and I think that will look quite nice. But even if worst comes to worst and this nether portal looks ugly, we can always move its location in the future. But anyway, I should probably just stop rambling on and get straight into building this. So I'm just going to quickly make some sort of nice nether portal design into this hillside over here. And then I'll show you guys it. And then we can head back into the nether and start building our nether hub. So I'll see you guys shortly once we've gone ahead and finished up our nether portal design. Ta-da! We've gone ahead and finished up the nether portal design. And I know it's pretty simplistic and pretty boring, but I do like it. I don't want to do anything over the top because I think for what it's worth, this is a pretty nice nether portal design. Let me know what you guys think though of it in the comments down below, and maybe I might change it, who knows, but as of right now, I quite like it. It's a very nice large nether portal with a nice cave entrance, but it looks very simplistic on the outside, and that's what I'm aiming for. I want it to be very subtle so that when you're far away you don't really notice it except for the nether portal itself, that little purple part there. But I think it fits in really nicely into the surroundings. But like I said, just let me know in the comments whether you guys like it or not. I think it's a nice addition to this area. It's very simple, but it does the trick. And who knows, we might change it up a little bit, add some more greenery, some more bushes around here in the future as well. It just depends on what we end up doing with this area over here. I might just end up turning this all into some sort of farmland. But either way, I'm super happy with it. I think it looks really nice. From far away, it doesn't look the best, but when you get up close, I think it looks really, really good. You got some kind of like nice custom cave entrance in here. I think it's quite nice. You've also mixed in some coarse dirt in here, and it just brings a very nice atmosphere into this little hillside over here, and it gives it a little bit more, lore. And I think it looks pretty cool. And on the inside, add a little bit of greenery just to make it stand out a little bit. I didn't want it to be all bland, so I just gave it a little bit of greenery on the inside, and on the outside it's already quite green with some grass around it, and I think it's pretty good. But I haven't actually ventured into the nether yet, so let's go ahead and do that. And let's see where this nether portal takes us. Okay, I've just come out of the nether portal, and it seems we're on top of the nether fortress right by our old portal, and this is actually not a bad location. It's pretty close to our old portal there, and it's not that far away from our original nether hub. So I think it's going to be much easier to make our nether hub now. The problem, of course, is actually dealing with these blazes over here, and somehow there's pillagers here as well. Well, that's pretty crazy. Okay, anyway, what I need to do before I start building up the nether hub though is actually moving this portal into the right location, because if you guys don't know this already, but when you enter the Nether using another portal from the overworld, basically another portal spawns randomly and it isn't in the correct location. So I'm going to go ahead quickly correct this, and then I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so this should hopefully be the right spot now for the Nether portal, and this should properly connect up with the one in the overworld, because I did a bunch of calculations and this should be the right coordinates. And I'm actually still kind of skeptical of how those pillagers got here. That is actually so strange. They must have walked in through my portal over here before I actually walked in myself, and must have wandered over there. But that is kind of a sight to behold. But anyway, without further ado, now we actually have our proper nether portal here, so we can actually start beginning to build our nether hub. And so you all know what that means. It's time for today's episode's time lapse. So I hope you're all going to enjoy this time lapse over here, where I'm going to make up our nether hub and then connect it up to the one that we made last time. Anyway, I'll see you all after this time lapse. After hours of work and tons of building and planning, I'm super happy to announce that we finished today's time lapse, and honestly, it was super amazing. I really loved it, and I'm very happy with what we ended up creating. And we're going to tour everything we created in just a second now. But before I do that, I'm going to quickly thank you guys for all the support I've been getting recently. I'm almost at 150 subscribers, so thank you guys so much. Anyway, back on with the video, and at the beginning of the time lapse, we created this new train station terminal over here near the old portal, which I think looks pretty nice. This train station looks really, really cool. And as you can see here, it's pretty much identical to the one we have down in that direction there. But I think it looks really, really nice still. And you can see I've also made a couple changes here and there. The first change is actually we have some emergency exits out on the side, which I think look really nice. It also fits in with the theme, so it looks like there's an escape door on the side, which I think looks cool. And you've also got the sign saying that there, and it's also functional because you can also leave out the hub, and then you can also fly around and do your chores around the Nether. For example, when I need to use my gold farm, I can just use the emergency exit, leave the Nether hub terminal, and then fly on up to my gold farm. And I think overall it's quite a nice addition. And then over here we've also added in another train like we have over in that terminal over there. However, this one is actually a steam engine train, which I think looks absolutely amazing. Whereas the one we have down there is a freight train to represent the industrial district. And the steam engine train looks absolutely phenomenal. I came up with it myself and I'm very happy with the result. I think it looks amazing. So you've got like this plow thing at the front over here. I honestly don't know train technical terms and things like that. But we've got this plow at the front. We've got a few details here like some ladders and things like that all around the sides. And then we've also got like this window and a bell there, and I think it looks amazing. We've also got some ladders on the side using some trapdoors, which I think looks pretty cool. And then of course, to fit in with the Nether aesthetic, I've also added in some details up here using some wither skeleton skulls, and I think that looks pretty cool as well. But either way, I'm super pleased with the product that we came up with. I think it looks absolutely spectacular. We've also added in a few other details that you might have noticed, some minor ones here and there, which I think look absolutely amazing. Just even small ones like some, wheels back there and things like that. And we've also added in this chimney at the top, which I think looks pretty cool, which is releasing some smoke out, which fits in with the aesthetic. And all around, I'm very happy with it, and I hope you guys are as well. And again, sorry for not knowing any train terms. I'll try and learn them for next time when I build more trains. And everything else is pretty much similar to the one we have down there. And you may have also noticed in the time lapse, I built a huge nether tunnel spanning over 800 blocks connecting each terminal together, and I think it came out amazing. Like literally look how long this thing is. It's super big and it spans on for loads and loads of blocks. I think I also need to do some redstone around these corners here so that it goes a little faster and spawn proof this road so that no mobs spawn on it. But I think overall I'm very happy with the result. You can see that I've added in some like warehouse lighting up here just to provide some light, and I think it's pretty cool. And it spans on for a really long distance. You can see even when zooming in, I can't even see the end of this tunnel. But with all of that being said, it provides easier transportation. So if you just go down here, you can see it takes me a matter of seconds just to get to my other train station terminal. And ta-da, just like that, within 5 seconds or so, we've reached the next train station terminal. And usually this travel would take me a minute. And even though this is a whole lot of building, trust me, it's worth it for the future. Oh, and one other thing I'd like to add is that you can see I started using these signs that we've incorporated into our terminals as well. You can see that I've labeled the place that we're arriving at once we travel through this tunnel over here. So over here, now that we're at our industrial district kind of area, you can see arriving at industrial district. And I think that's a little nice kind of feature you'd like to add into your train stations. Even though it's a small detail, I think it's pretty cool. And then it also says the next stop, so if you travel down in this direction, you reach our settlement. And temporarily I've named that settlement Ville de Montagne, which is mountain town in French, but that's just a temporary name until you guys pick a better name, because the name of the settlement is actually down to you guys. So if you guys actually have a good name for that settlement, let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, with all that being said, let's head down back to the other train station terminal. Alright, we have arrived at my newly created station over here, and I'm super happy with the results. And you can also see that I've done the same thing with the signs over here as well. You can see that I've done arriving at Ville de Montagne and next stop Grand Terminal. And actually, I would like to talk to you guys about that. So basically, when I started off this world, I traveled loads and loads of blocks, around 5,000 6,000 blocks to get to this settlement location over here, somewhere around this area. And that's a lot of travel in the overworld, and that also means a lot of travel in the Nether. And now I've also created another portal at my spawn location a while back, but I've never really used it, and super far away. So what I was thinking before I sent out my world for download for you guys so that you guys can enjoy, I was thinking I'm making a huge grand terminal at my spawn area which has multiple, railway lines connecting and converging, and I think it'd be a super cool idea. That way it'll be the central hub of everything. There'll be, lines connecting into that spawn area from all directions, probably 5-10 tracks entering the grand terminal, and then I'll also include some sculptures and things like that. Basically a bigger, better train station for you guys to walk around and enjoy. But that's going to be a huge task, and I don't even know if I'm going to finish it by the time that this world download goes out. But either way, you guys are going to love it, and by the time the second world download goes out, it's definitely going to be done. So I hope you guys are going to love it to bits. There'll also be sculptures and things like that around there, and it's going to turn out absolutely amazing. Anyway, with all that being said, unfortunately today's episode is going to have to come to an end because I've done so much building and so much work that I really need to post this video for you guys so that you guys can stay caught up on what I'm doing in my world. So that's going to be my final message from this week. So I hope you all enjoyed today's episode and had a bunch of fun watching me create this terminal over here. But without further ado, I hope you all enjoyed today's episode, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!